Okay, so we're actually going to make a start to the AGM now. So we're going to start with proceedings. So probably the first thing that we're actually going to kick off with is the treasurer's report. So that's just going to detail a few things about how the club's been doing financially. And so lovely Roger, who's currently having a heart attack.
He's got some birth blood.
He's going to say a few words.
Oh, right, yeah.
Roger, come on up.
What I'll do is just give you profit. We make profit, by the way.
Yay!
Money to use if we need to.
We make money.
Okay, so yes.
What's with the mysterious check deposit?
Oh
Yeah.
wow, you have very sharp eyes.
Yeah.
That's a good question, man. Yeah, we don't know what the heck happened there. We're going to talk to the other execs later.
Is that the one that was under my
because
name?
we did not know at all.
I'm not sure.
If that was under my name, then that would have been from Genjiken.
$506.70.
It's an odd number.
Yeah, it was pretty specific.
Okay. Because we asked them for $500. However, we didn't expect $506.70.
Did we charge them continuously compounding interest? Alright.
Treasurer.
Yeah, so we made a profit, even though we encountered many sorting obstacles. Alright. And the only other notable thing this year, I suppose, is the art jam we had with Droid Circle, the Pokemon edition. So I thought that went well, right? Yeah. And I think we should do more stuff with Droid Circle too, because you're not going to remember. Anyway, in closing, I just want to say thanks to all of you. You guys are awesome, and you make the club what it is. And thank you to all of our past and present executive members for their long-suffering existence. All the pain and hardship has helped keep this club together. It's made lots of fun for you guys. So, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Pretty much with this report, it's going to give a bit of an overview about the entire year that we've had, and pretty much what worked, what didn't, and what we're probably going to expect in the near future. It's going to be a bit of a rant, but hopefully you'll be able to deal with it. I did spend probably all of the last 14 hours making it, so I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I'm not sure, because I sometimes speak a bit softly, but if you can't hear me, can you please raise your hand? Because I do tend to mumble a bit.
What did you say?
Listen better! But yeah, so if you ever have any issues, just kind of give me like a hearing sound or gesture, and I'll probably speak up a bit more. Okay, so this is just going to be the presence report. It's going to be pretty derp, so probably expect the worst and you'll likely get it. Okay, so first up, I've been president for 2 years, but I still have no clue. But hopefully I'll get something that resembles none later on.
Wow, wow.
And for those who do remember, yes, it probably was there, and maybe deja vu. Yeah, it's probably not funny the second time, so hopefully it'll be forgotten in the long history of the club. Okay, but seriously guys, pretty much what we're going to do here is what we did, yeah. It's been quite a long year, we've had plenty of events, so it's pretty much just going to be a bit of a sentimental journey about what we did, what worked and what didn't. Okay, so pretty much going back to last year, it was a bit of a joke, but we still got progress done. Yeah, this is pretty much going to be exactly the same. Shut up!
Don't look at me.
Oh, Keo.
Guys. Okay, so as you probably have seen throughout the year, this is our exec team. They've been actually doing a pretty damn good job considering I actually haven't been here for most of it. So the fact that the club is still here and actually running is quite an achievement. So I'd just like to give a small applause to that. Of course, not saying I would have done any work anyway, but you never know. Okay, so probably the first event that we had last year was the Christmas party, and it was a bit of an ordeal. I'm not sure if most members would realize this because they weren't part of the Anime Sydney exec team, but it was incredibly difficult. The amount of changes that we had to implement for that party to happen was crazy. The meetings that we had to have were insane, and in the end we spent a great deal of money on, probably wasn't all that much.
Probably about 5,000-ish, I think.
Almost 5,000.
Roughly. When roughly, we probably expect maybe 2.5 K for such an event.
Oh.
So hopefully this year, if we do have a Christmas party, it won't be as costly. But okay, that's pretty much transforming. But I'd like to give pretty much a shout out to Cindy and Tiffany, pretty much the main members of the Kira Kira squad, who pretty much make people into traps. But otherwise, they help people with the cosplay, and they're a really good group to actually have around to help boost the encouragement of the club to pretty much get into cosplay. But yeah, so I technically didn't exist this year. I was pretty much killed off by my alter ego last week, I believe. Then I revived myself so I could actually be here. So I'm in a bit of a spirit form. However, considering I was away for the first few months, a lot of the members probably didn't realize who the hell I was. Yeah. So I know there were a few reports that Vadim was apparently the president. Then Multi took the reins as well. It's so easy. And I'm pretty sure because Key was so interactive and so on the ball and so cute, they thought that he was probably the president. Really? Yeah. But regardless, in my absence, we have had great success. So we've had 226 members join up this year. I believe last year was 140.
Yeah.
So we have absolutely destroyed that figure.
Hey Alex. Hey,
Yes.
I just want to say, fuck you for making me come up here at like 7:30. Flashbox. What was that about?
Yeah, one thing that you'll probably have to know, when I was president, I was very demanding. I would probably make people come in 2 hours early, because I know they're going to be late.
And we all arrived early.
We all arrived early. Did nothing for 3 hours.
But yeah, probably throughout this whole year, we tried out a few more new events. Some of them were a bit swing and miss, but it's good to experiment. And I'm very happy to actually continue doing that in the future. So probably our first event that we actually had was onigiri. So that was just a big hookup that we had, pretty much made rice balls and such. And sadly, we didn't get to finish every single one of them. We had, what, probably half of them left over, and they had to all go in the bin. Which is a bit of a lesson in actually knowing when to hold yourself back when making stuff. But in regards to that, yeah, some people got a bit too into it.
Oh my god.
But probably one other thing that we participate in, and of course as we should, is watch movies. So we had a few series of just screening events, probably real anime, which is ironically on now. But last year we went to see Wolf Children, and I'm pretty sure a few other people went to see a few other things. We had an EVA marathon, which was kind of shit.
Play the same thing.
Purely because it is the OVAs and they generally do suck.
That movie's not OVAs.
Whatever, I don't watch that. But there was an expo of art that we actually went to as well. That was the whole reason why we saw the movies in the first place. So it actually wasn't that spectacular. I expected a lot more art, or you would think there would be a lot more art. But sadly, there wasn't any. So yeah, we pretty much just went through that and wasn't all that good. But we ran into heaps of other clubs at that time as well. And I think there was quite a few members in there. I believe you can see with Dim purely because it's orange. Yeah, so I didn't put that in. Then of course then we had the ice skating event, which I don't believe that we've actually done before. Is anyone willing to correct me?
No, we might be probably not in this country.
Okay, yeah, so I'm not sure how many people actually died up on the ice, but it's really good to just get exposure to that. But yeah, so we had good times. And then we had bad times. Frank, you're an absolute dick. But we did have a sports day. However, I don't recall there being any photos, but it was very intense.
There's a video.
There was video, but sadly no one actually wants to watch video. So, sadly, and
Hit my cockroach.
which I believe was last week. I sadly couldn't attend, so I have no idea what the hell happened there. Chaos. Absolute chaos.
Yeah.
But it seems we had a lot of SNK fans, or was there one of the events was to do with SNK, or just posing?
Posing. Yeah.
I got something better.
That looks familiar.
Yeah, that's you.
Recycling material. Yeah, I like this shirt. It's my president's shirt. Only I'm allowed to wear it.
It's all from his left.
So what you're... I took it from your website. That's why I'm wearing it on the shirt.
So we burned it.
But,
He's had another one.
aside from all those new events, we actually did have a few classical events, which are pretty much part of our repertoire. So we had karaoke.
Oh shit. Fake.
Who's that person?
It's a white space, Alex.
Actually,
It's Alex.
I'm wearing my yellow shirt again. But yeah, so pretty much, I think in the 2 karaoke sessions that we actually had as a club, these are all the photos I could really muster off that made any sense.
The ones at the bottom right?
Oh!
His power level's a bit high for me. But, I think after one of those karaoke's, yeah, we did gather up and we did have an extremely good turnout. I think that's probably one of the biggest that we've had, aside from the Anime Sydney karaoke, which was just ridiculous, because I think we had maybe 60 people there, roughly, 60, 50, and we filled up nearly the entire venue, so I honestly don't want to see that again. But hopefully something more structured. Something more structured. Smash! Yeah, we had a lot of traps. I thought I was the only one who was going to be there. But despite that, we actually still had a very good time. We sold a lot of merchandise, which we didn't expect, considering the majority of that we sold were badges. 99% of it was badges, and we still managed to break even.
We may have had a small loss.
A small loss.
Oh, loss.
That's still awesome.
However, we did have a number of events with other societies during this year, namely with the other anime clubs around Sydney, and of course, clubs for the UTS. So we've got a few events that I might just want to go through. So first was Pokemon Challenge Day. So that was a bit of an odd one, because to have one single event for Pokemon just seems a bit obscure. But we actually got pretty good mileage out of it.
What's Pokemon?
But we made the most out of the day, and we actually did a lot of good activities, which just shows that we can actually think of all the good ideas if we actually really try.
No.
One person who's not here actually has an opinion.
Abs.
Those are the only photos of him I actually had, I'm sorry.
So polite.
Yeah, we also had laser tag, but it was kind of initiated by Sydney Uni kind of bombing our crane, which is pretty bad. But in retaliation, we absolutely destroyed them in laser tag. But it's a bit deceptive purely because we had 18 plays to 15.
They can just shoot us more times.
That's
Yeah.
Alex, we claimed our right to an advantage. They bombed the shit out of
Okay.
buildings.
Okay, moving on. we did have a movie marathon, which was actually pretty decent because we didn't have a lot of live action throughout the entire year. So it's almost a bit of a foreign concept in the club now because we used to have a lot previously, but it's not that much of a presence anymore. Yeah, we had the Anime City Clinic. I wasn't there. Sorry about that. And then we had the Cherry Blossom Picnic, which is becoming something of a tradition for the club. So pretty much we go there, we have a good time, and we also ran into a few other clubs as well. So it's just trying to build this unity of the various clubs that we actually have. Yeah, it does vary in quality. And then we just have random crap that happens. I'm not sure. Can anyone actually identify who that is?
Modern people and
It's
modern
It's got to be Keo. It's not Keo.
It's not Keo.
Oh no, he's too tall.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
Good, yeah. If you guys actually want to try and relive some of these events, TAC does have a lot of these videos online.
Wait. Oh yeah, you love. You make love to that. When the heck did I say that? Don't go twisting the truth.
I know, it's like waiting to.
Wait, you just got that?
Yes.
But I'd just probably like to say a few words, strictly from my perspective, about how the last 4 years have been, considering I've been president for 2, events manager for 1, and chibi for 1 as well. So I've pretty much gone through the entire club and probably skipped a few positions when going to president, which is probably a bit risky considering I didn't have any idea what the hell I was doing in my first year. However, we still pulled through pretty well, but probably just from my perspective, we can do a lot better. I know that we came back from an extremely strong president when Dom was president. He thought of a lot of good ideas that we could do. He was really on the ball with everything, and he could get people inspired. So I know that while I was away for a single year, things kind of fell apart. But I'm just really looking forward to seeing what the next executive team can actually do, and probably really get us back on track and really impress everyone with how we can perform as a club. Considering that we do have an increase in members, we have what, 220, 40 this year. There's a good chance that it will increase next year. So once we actually have these people, always one. But considering that we actually have this many people, we can actually achieve a great deal. So I'd like to see the club progress more and probably shoot for better goals. Considering there are other anime clubs in the area, it's probably good to have a bit of friendly competition. I think that's fair. To try and be the best club that we can be.
Very basic. No one ever was.
But yeah, so that's probably just my 2 cents. Who knows? Probably when we get to our next president, we'll probably see his goals and what he wants to achieve, and it could blow your mind. You might want to do absolutely extraordinary things that we didn't think possible. Probably just as a final token, I just want to thank the executive team for pulling their weight, especially when I was gone.
Oh.
So I just want to thank the executive team for everything that they had to pretty much deal with in my absence and how they've actually contributed so much to the club. And I just want to thank every single member who's joined the club, either who is not present, Anthony, or people who have just joined up this year. Because you're pretty much the people who make the club run. If you didn't come to these events, keep us motivated, we wouldn't have the effort to actually make things happen. So I just want to give a big round of applause to everyone. Cindy, does that fit the bill?
No,
But there are thousands of I try to experiment with the executive team and see what happens, see what works, see what doesn't work. And I like to probably just try and change things up and probably recommend what I think might be justified. So in regards to the exec team, I don't think it's probably necessary to have 2 photographers. Sorry Andy, sorry Jim. While I'm here, I might as well burn a few bridges. We didn't actually have a lot of photos taken throughout the year, I'm sad to say.
There were, but it's not.
They're not uploaded. Do your job.
I did a Bobby.
And considering that we actually have members like TAC who've been pretty much going to most events, taking, I think the DIM took all the photos and TAC took all the video. So
Later half of the
later. So I think it's possible that we don't necessarily need photographers so strictly, and we could probably just open up the fields a bit more to actually having more user photos. Because that's probably where we're going to get most of them from. Like there'll probably need to be a bit of quality control. I'm sure if we could probably manage it through some type of system, it could work pretty well. So I'd just like to put forward that we would remove the photographer's position, and we need to vote on that. So pretty much simple, yay, nay. Those who feel that they should be removed, raise your hand. Okay, motion passed.
Alright.
So, okay, so we can't make any constitutional changes at the moment, which is a bit unfortunate.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Do we actually have constitution somewhere accessible?
Yeah. Facebook. It's on the.
It is?
Bring it on the secret exec.
Let's actually go.
Secret.
Let's actually go through it in detail. It has. Have we actually put it up online to the members yet?
It's not, because we wanted to do changes.
So we want to do our personal changes so we can make changes for the changes of the changes of the changes.
Yes.
Yes. Change.
Well, let me put it this way. At the moment, does anyone want to propose any changes so we actually need to look at the Constitution?
We did have changes.
I propose we get rid of the photographers.
And presidents.
We need them for the union.